Faculty members, students of the Mico University College, to all special guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good morning to you all. This is indeed an exciting development, exciting morning, and although I've been sandwiched between so many activities on this important day, this is a game changer, and certainly I had to be here to identify with it, so I certainly want to endorse and to be at this media launch to promote this year's Mathematics Summit, which is important in highlighting, a very important step in highlighting the greater focus being placed on the teaching and learning of mathematics in Jamaica. Professor Ying in his overview would have set the context. And it is very timely, President Anderson, you're the president, and Sir Alfred, my history is about disrupting things and narratives, transformation. And so we have to get into the culture that we want to just talk about things but we get them done. Because if we don't, then the world is not waiting on us. The world is not waiting on us. You've seen the lament that I've been sensitized in my own cabinet about just the profile of our economy and relatively low wages. We now have to move to the high level wage level to drive the GDP per capita. But if we're going to get there, it means the quality of training of the workforce has to be repositioned. And that is what mathematics and the competencies in mathematics is going to do. We have not had an enviable record in mastering mathematics. And so I don't beat up myself, President God. I'm beating you and referring to you because having been president, I know where you're coming from. Because I was in the mother country not so long ago among the ministers of education, the commoners. And it's quite interesting because there was a time when most of our teachers were coming from UK, etc., etc. And it's a reverse almost taking place. But the significant point I have made in education, and we have to understand the reality. We have come as a world from a situation where there were just few persons, very relatively few persons in the population who had access to education, to schooling. So in that real sense, the world has never really had the mass amount of persons, of trained teachers to deliver mass education. So in order, if you want all the population of the world to be properly educated, the world had never had sufficiently trained science and math teachers. Let us understand that. And I will comment later on some of the points you have made, Professor Ying, which I have said to President Gaff, that it's a reality. So I made the same point you're saying, how now leapfrogging into the 21st century, in the middle of this fourth industrial revolution, how we leverage technology. So the reality, if you have few trained mathematics teachers, but you need to be able to reach the mass of students, then you have to leverage technology. It is whether it's artificial intelligence or whatever, it's a non-debate. Because if you don't have enough physical teachers, in fact, one of the recommendations, which is disrupting the recommendation, coming out of that particular confab, was open education. And open education means you use technology and people can stay in their homes, can use their smartphone, whatever technological devices, and be engaged in the teaching and learning process. But I thought I got that off my chest. I therefore welcome this initiative, Professor Ying, and the teams from the UWI and other institutions, and of course the Mico University College, for this particular mathematics summit. Could you put a big round of applause for that? Ladies and gentlemen, we would recall the task force report on education 2004, and I believe Sharon Wolf had something to do with it, but you would recall that And it actually highlighted significant gaps in the performance of our students, as I alluded to, in mathematics, as a point for concern and intervention. Improving the standard of performance in mathematics require in-depth analysis of the issues affecting student outcomes and the development and implementation of the strategies targeted addressing the root of the issue. And I want to pay tribute to Dr. Tamika Benjamin for the work that you have been doing in this reform. And I had to remind the president of the Mico University College that when I assumed the role as Minister of Education and the issues related to mathematics were again brought to the fore, I tasked him as chairman of the newly formed Mathematics Consortium to fix this problem. So this summit is all about him making sure that he's delivering on the mandate that he has been given. Congratulations, Mr. President. I know I could have counted on you. You're a man of action, a man of your word, and of course, inspired by the one and only, incomparable Professor Never in. To this end, I clap Never in, because I don't want him to see robust voice. To this end, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Innovation has conducted a thorough analysis of data from a wide range of sources and identified three main issues affecting student performance in mathematics. Namely, the absence, interestingly, of standards and guidelines for teaching and the learning of mathematics. Teacher and teaching quality. Attitudes of Jamaicans to mathematics. I want to again insert in the reform, and I think we have done some work on that, Dr. Benjamin, and it is something that we have said as teacher training. So yes, we are coming from a state when we used to have pre-trained teachers and we take them from that level. Where we are now in terms of teacher enrollment in terms of the standard, we've got to take the best. You mentioned, don't let me even start lecturing on Finland, because in Finland, all of you who are the brightest in Jamaica would be in the education system. The best and brightest minds are those we need to be teachers. And if you give me a second term, I have been doing a very special thing for the education system and the teachers of Jamaica. Since 2012, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has developed and implemented a suite of strategies aimed at addressing these issues. First strategy, establishing standards and guidelines for mathematics education. The National Mathematics Policy Guidelines were developed and implemented in 2013. The policy document has served to establish standards for teachers of mathematics at the primary and secondary level and in teacher training institutions. The outcomes since then are: 1, an increase in the number of fully qualified mathematics teachers deployed to the education system from less than 20% of the secondary teaching cohort in 2011 to 33% at the end of 2017 school year. So again, Dr. Benjamin, I think the figure we had was about what, 1,700 plus in secondary school teaching supposed to be specialists in math. But in truth, you only had about what, 200 to 300 that were specialists. So we're coming, as I said, but you notice I'm not complaining, it's just that unfortunately that is where we're coming from. But we must now seek to see how we can accelerate the pace of transformation. We also move to increase the hours for mathematics and mathematics education courses that align with international standards for all applicable teacher education degree programs. That was also a weakness. Too little content in mathematics. The policy is about to be reviewed to ensure alignment with changes to the national curriculum, best practices, and of course, always international standards. And I always say, leapfrog Jamaica, and not about catching up We must be leaders. They can't be the fastest men and women in the world and can't be the leaders in education in the world. That's where we're going. The second strategy had to do with the deployment of mathematics coaches. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information continued to sustain the deployment of mathematics coaches to critical primary and secondary schools to provide job-embedded professional development for teachers. Coaches observed lessons and provided immediate feedback, facilitated in school professional development, co-plan and co-teach lessons, and conduct demonstration lessons. Coaches also supported interventions for critical students to a limited extent. And of course, I did ask that we use them, Dr. Benjamin, to help in our preparation, not only for PEP, but also for the other examinations. At present, the ministry has 54 primary coaches supporting 115 primary level schools and 25 math coaches supporting 86 of our secondary schools. The approach has contributed to the steady gains the system has seen in student performances at both the primary and secondary levels of the system. So we've been moving in the right direction. The third strategy, which is shifting from generalist to specialist at the primary level. And we have to do that because it's such a wide gap. And Cuba, by the way, does this. And just to signal again that the JTC bill, President Garth, we've finished the full draft. Cabinet has signed off on it. So there's just one or two comments that the AG department needs to make, so we move that to Let's Come. It already has the space for my signature, so I will be the minister to pilot and pass that bill finally, because what it's going to do is also ensure that the licensing, or the registration license, will ensure we place, Dr. Benjamin, the teachers so trained and qualified, demonstrating competence in the right subject areas at the right level of the education system. And also the requirement for continuous professional development. And by the way, I'm not picking on my teachers because as a human resource specialist, I've said all of us as professionals should be engaged in a minimum of 30 hours of professional development each year as a policy. And if I can put that in some legislation, I will be happy to. Because that is how we're going to keep ahead of the world in terms of the competitiveness of our workforce. Because remember, we always are going to have to position ourselves to compete with the rest of the world. So, steps are being taken to broaden the approach of deploying specialist teachers to teach mathematics at the primary level. The approach is currently being piloted in 39 schools across the island. Plans are in place to expand this to an additional 200 schools at the beginning of 2019 school year, with full implementation across the system scheduled for 2021. Schools are being provided with resources and additional training with certification, which will be provided for teachers who qualify themselves as primary mathematics specialists. The model will see these teachers being solely responsible for the delivery of the primary mathematics curriculum. Strategy 4, increasing the number of secondary mathematics teachers trained. The award, as was mentioned, of more than 400 mathematics education scholarships to potential teachers between 2015 and 2018 at a cost of $600 million will begin to yield fruit when more than 150 of these beneficiaries graduate in June of 2019. The ministry continues to sustain this program. And again, I was able to say to my colleagues that we can't invest because we need these colleagues to give us some commitment to help to transform our country and our workforce. So I have to extend the bond period from 3 years to 5 years. I have to say to those people in the metropolitan, no, you can't just come and have us train our people and just take them away. At least if you give me 5 years, that is reasonable, and we will ensure in terms of policy that these areas that the country feel that is of great interest and need for us, we will dedicate resources and full scholarship to these areas in return for guaranteed minimum of 5 years service back to the system. Fifthly, the development of resources to support lesson planning and delivery. Significant resources which can support lesson planning and delivery have been developed and made available to teachers, first through the ministry's website and now through the newly launched PEP website, which by the way have over 260 odd hits and growing. Strategy 6, training education leaders to effectively lead mathematics teaching and learning under the National Mathematics Program. The Leadership of Mathematics Program was developed and is delivered through the National College for Education Leadership to all principals and secondary heads of departments. In addition, annual mop-up sessions are facilitated for new principals and heads of departments. Seventh, perfect number, so you know I'll end up to number 7, if you're accounting. Of course, there is a mathematics launch, so you need to, yes, maths counts. But it's quite interesting because I'm not talking about marketing, the demystification of mathematics. Because of all I said, the great teacher, I just honor the memory of our great friend, Professor Claude. Professor Claude, would you clap him in his memory? Because, when I went to university, math was so easy, because of Claude Paco. And that's what we want from our teachers. That any subject that they're delivering, that is, if you can read it by yourself, we then, and internalize and learn, we probably don't need teachers, but the great teacher is able to demystify, to break the content down in simple form. I was reminded of this series of articles I wrote some years ago called Dumpling, Dumpling, Dumpling. And just remind us, yes, that most of us in eating a dumpling don't put all of the flour dumpling in our mouths one time. Because especially some big size dumpling that will choke you. But perhaps if you were to cut it in small pieces, and I know some ladies even cut it in a little smaller pieces, but eventually all will be consumed, we still get there. All right, so that is what the great the teacher does. The ministry continues, therefore, to sustain the implementation of the mathematics marketing campaign, Math Counts, using social media, print media and advertisements and radio and television and billboards, and celebrate the National Mathematics Week in March of each year. So this summit is coming very much as part of that focus in March. These programs are aimed at helping all Jamaicans to see the importance and the relevance of mathematics to their everyday lives and the country's economic growth and development. And I have to put a plug here again in regards to PEP and the National Standards Program. I said to parents, these are the children who are here, they need to be actively engaged at home because there's so much math and science in the home. So in the same way you eat the dumpling and count how many dumplings, you can measure how much water going in the pot. You're baking cake. You're slicing the cake. It's all mathematics, it's all operations. And that's how we get our students to understand the relevance. Because the mathematical concepts are all developed fit for purpose. So, those are the things that we're talking about. So that does make it abstract, but in a very concrete way. Relative to solving everyday life situations and problems. This will inure into our country's economic growth and development. The National Mathematics Expo, the main event for National Mathematics Week, has seen attendance grow from 2,500 participants in 2013 to last year reaching over 8,000 students and teachers who attended these expos. And of course, we expect, since we are in 2019, to go over the 9,000, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, continued improvements, however, will require consistent evaluation of each of these initiatives. And I'm looking forward to the results of this summit that is going to add a new set of information. It will be an empowerment activity, which, as I indicated before, I expect to leapfrog us as a country in resolving the issues that we've had in relation to mathematics, and position Jamaica as a leader in the world in not only mathematics education, but competences in math that make us also competent in the other element of STEM, in Dr. Thomas, in engineering and technology. Because that is part of my own vision, to see Jamaica right up there with the OECD countries. After all, that is our vision of 2030, to make Jamaica a developed country, a place of choice to live, work, raise our families, and to do business. So I take great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to endorse this summit, and by the power invested in me, I now declare the summit as officially launched. Thank you.